Have you ever sat in a meeting, heart racing, knowing you should speak up, but you don't? Or watch someone else present your ideas as their very own while you sat there, silent? 14 years ago, I was the person who always spoke up. I enjoyed contributing. I was known for my fresh ideas and my innovative thinking. My colleagues would often say, just ask Margaret, she has an idea. And I always did. I enjoyed contributing because I believed that my voice mattered. Until the day it was stolen. I had spent months developing this new concept for engaging our external stakeholders. It made sense, the setup was right, the approach was novel, and I was excited, so excited, that I shared it with a colleague I trusted. I wanted her feedback. We had collaborated over the past year, so it made sense. 2 weeks later, I sat in our leadership meeting and watched as she presented my ideas, slide by slide, point by point. I can actually still feel the heat rising in my face and the tightness in my chest as I hear the voice of my vice president praising her for her innovative thinking. She received a promotion the next month. And I was silent. That silence became a habit. In the months that followed, I turned into someone I no longer recognized. I guarded my best ideas. I second-guessed every interaction because who can you trust? I allowed fear to repeatedly steal and silence my voice. But in the silence, I discovered something crucial. I was not alone. In every team, meeting, organization, there are others who were exactly like me. Brilliant minds with valuable insights who for some reason or another had learned to silence their voices. Many of us have had an experience that has taught us to hide our authentic voices beneath layers of doubt, fear, and the expectations of others. Today, I want to share with you the ABCs of speaking up when it matters the most. This framework helped me to rebuild my voice and find the courage to speak up in crucial moments. It's important to remember that speaking up makes a world of difference. The ABCs, A for authenticity, B for bimodal thinking, and C for courage. These three elements form the foundation of what I refer to as genuine self-expression. Let's get started with authenticity. What does it really mean to be authentic? True authenticity is not the license to say whatever comes to mind. Authenticity is about the alignment of your inner values with your outer expression. It is speaking from a place of genuine conviction rather than convenience and conformity. When I lost my voice in that meeting years ago, I didn't just lose an opportunity. I temporarily lost connection with my authentic self. You cannot express your true voice if you don't know what it sounds like. Whew. Yeah, that hit me like a ton of bricks. I had to accept the truth of that statement as I entered the journey of rebuilding my voice. In rebuilding my voice, I created a space for reflection that allowed me to realign with my personal values while accepting the good, the bad, and the ugly of everything that is me. Because there's one thing I know for sure. True self-mastery resides in the freedom of your unique expression. Being authentic is recognizing that no one, aside from you, shares your unique combination of experiences, knowledge, and insights. The second element, and perhaps my most favorite, is bimodal thinking. This is the ability to seemingly hold two contradictory ideas simultaneously, releasing yourself from the either or limitations by embracing the power of the both and. The concept of bimodal thinking allows us to understand that you can speak with confidence and be open to correction. You can have conviction about your ideas and still be curious about others' perspectives. You can honor your expertise and acknowledge your limitations. I remember when I first put this into practice, I fell into a few traps of false dichotomies, and let me know if any one of these false dichotomies resonate with you. If I speak up for myself, I'll be seen as aggressive. If I admit uncertainty, the people are going to think I am incompetent. If I disagree, no one will like me. Bimodal thinking releases us from the trap of these dichotomies because it allows us to navigate these legitimate tensions of self-expression with grace. The final element, and perhaps the most critical, is courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to speak when your voice is shaking, to express your truth even when it makes you feel vulnerable, to speak with conviction even when blending in would be easier. As we grow, life consistently presents us with challenges that test the strength of our growth. I want you to sit with this statement. If I continue to silence myself, I am complicit in my own disappearance. 4 years ago, I found myself in yet another professional setting where my ideas and my work were being pilfered. I had conceived and executed from beginning to end a health disparities initiative to address the low registration of participants in clinical trials for our pending lupus treatment. This was deeply personal to me because when I was 12 years old, I lost my cousin, Anu, to lupus. She was like a big sister to me. And there were no treatments like the one we were looking to bring out of the pipeline to keep her alive. I poured myself into this initiative, fueled by my personal connection. I recruited KOLs, key opinion thought leaders from across the nation, as well as other patient voices to help us address the very real gaps in clinical trial recruitment for this study. And it was an amazing event. We left that place with valuable insights, and we wanted to share what we had learned. The colleague I partnered with to bring this effort to life moved forward with the publication without acknowledging my foundational work. My name was completely omitted from the publication. I had one choice to make, and for me, that courageous choice was to address this directly. When I did, the colleague admitted no wrongdoing. She was like, I didn't do anything wrong. That left me with another courageous choice to make, and that meant getting my manager involved. Recognizing the need for appropriate attribution as it relates to health disparities work, my manager, who is an ally, moved quickly to ensure that the publication was updated with me as the author. This experience taught me that courage sometimes means persisting in the face of discomfort. Courage also means ensuring or understanding that sometimes raising your voice may be met with disapproval. Not everyone is going to like or agree with what it is that you have to say, and that is not only okay, it's necessary. A voice that has not encountered resistance is probably not saying anything of significance. Remember that. As my voice grew through the ABC framework, my relationships deepened, and my work improved because I was bringing my full and most authentic self to the table. And people didn't respond with judgment the way I had feared. People actually embraced me with a deeper and greater trust and respect for me and the work that I do. I would like to leave you with this simple invitation. The next time that you find yourself in a moment where speaking up really matters, remember the ABCs. Ask yourself, what would my most authentic self say in this moment? How can I engage in bimodal thinking to break out of the either or and find the both and approach? What small act of courage would make a difference in this moment? And then take that step. Authentic voices are necessary. They are more than just for our personal benefit. Authentic voices in the workplace lead to better decision making and more innovation. In relationships, it leads to greater intimacy. In our communities, it helps to foster honest dialogue that builds bridges across differences. So I want you to remember, your voice, your truly authentic voice, isn't just a personal asset. It's a public good. Thank you.